Thank you. I have two questions. Number one, did you notice increased activity of voting after the installing all this stuff? And the second one would be, how do you prove for the usual voter, usual common person, common citizen, that all this voting is done in an honest way without changing anything? How do you prove that?
When the person actually votes, you actually can download an app as well, where you can compare. After you have sent your vote in, you can use a QR code to make sure on your phone independently as well that the vote has gone through and the right vote was cast, and in the system there's the right vote that you had sent. So you can sort of use two devices to check that everything has gone okay. But the other hand is that sort of the very very openness of it. That as a citizen I can go log on and I can see everything that's been, how the process worked, who was there at what times, who opened what files where, and that's sort of we trust engineers in Estonia, and that's why Davi always says that it's the most important thing when you're building any e-government system, is to trust your engineers. And I think that's where the Estonian system has been built with that sort of pure mathematical knowledge and beauty in it. That, when you look at this auditing trail, there's nothing going wrong. And we haven't, as you know, in the last 10 years, we haven't had a single security breach, although we have been encouraging people to try and find faults with the system. We haven't found any yet. We do trust the system, and I think that's what, it hasn't been an issue for us, and people have tried, but they haven't found anything. And when it comes to voter activity, we can see that the people who are voting online, there isn't sort of a big difference in terms of bringing new people in who wouldn't be voting anyway. When you make the decision that you don't want to vote, it's usually as a protest against the political system rather than inconvenience. But saying that, when we pulled the numbers together, and if I'm not mistaken, there were around 10,000 working days that we've saved with e-voting at the moment. And we can just, even with an average wage, we're talking of a saving of hundreds of thousands of euros for the people who are voting online in terms of as a collective over this 10-year period. And that's a remarkable convenience saving for them. But at the same time, the studies are showing that e-voting doesn't make some sort of major difference to your political system. You won't suddenly see some new parties coming in and riding the wave of e-voting and suddenly seeing them in power. It's not how it works. People who vote are still the same humans who were voting before, that still make the same decisions, but we're just offering a better, more convenient, more secure way for them to do so.
Sorry, one more. Estonia is only one country in the world that takes electronic voting. Why do you think is that so? Why are other countries don't do that yet?
Our e-government systems as a whole are more developed than the rest of the world. So it makes sense that we might be a few steps ahead. See, Davi wants to interject as well.
Just comment, we are the only country who uses digital signature nationwide. So why is that? Yes, there are countries who just trust those information society solutions and they use them to benefit and to make their economic greater. So I can't understand why others don't want to give free time to the people. I just can't understand why you don't use digital signature. Why you use this non-environment friendly method in Lithuania? Why? And I can't understand you. Why? You have the tools, you have all the technology available, and you didn't do that. Why? Our society does. You don't. Ask for myself.